Welcome to the Julie and the Milo Show. Today we have none other than Mr. Jeffrey Morlock here with Discussing with Milo Onet.
Jeffrey Morlock, good to see you back. Man, it's so good to see you. I love when you come on the show and we can talk about products because, man, you know the products. And so today we got one of the big ones, man. And I'm excited to talk to you about it and learn a little more about it. We're going to be talking about Onet. Tell me a little about Onet. What is it? How are people going to use it? What's going to happen with it?
Well, first of all, you know as much about these products than I do, but you are always trumping me up, brother. I appreciate that. But we both know where I'm really at, so it's okay, you know. Onet. It's going to be the next revolutionary media, social media, in my opinion. And again, what we have in the back office right now is only a shadow of the actual program. But this one is going to be one of the ones that come out. It's a corner post. You know, it's what we call pillar product, and it will be too. It is a full-blown social media platform with AI technology, and it's used obviously for connecting one-on-one and or with communities in a social or virtual environment. That's what it is.
Wow. Now, Jeffrey, is this going to be kind of take the place of a lot of the social media, say the Facebook, the YouTube, something you can put the video on and it will draw people to it?
Oh yeah, there's a new sheriff in town.
Well, tell me a little about that.
Well, one of the most beautiful things, and I'm going to throw this right out, and it's not really about the functionality of Onet, but it's what it doesn't do that I love, because a lot of the social medias out there will do this, and that's it. You know, everything is marketing, right? And
sure.
Part of that marketing is sucking out of you your information, your phone numbers, or any information that's personal to you, and those other social medias and other big folks, they will sell that information, and they don't sell it just once. They'll sell it to the highest bidder many times over, and then they'll even try to get more out of you. But anyway, that's how they make a big ton of money, and they never give you a piece of it. Now with Onet, onpassive doesn't collect any personal information, with the exception of what we need to actually register something to you. And the information we do have is never, ever going to be sold for anything. That is not what we do. That's not what we're about. Secondarily, these other platforms, unless you're working yourself to the bone like YouTube and continually putting out new stuff every day and having to keep up with it and work yourself silly, you're not making any money at it. Unless you happen to have a real big site, and obviously you're going to make some money. But long story short is, they don't give you the money they make. You know, they don't share anything with you. onpassive does. onpassive will not only give you an opportunity to be able to earn even in this program, but when you're using this program and other programs, there's an opportunity for you to earn from marketing that onpassive is doing with your site. So that's what I love about it. Now that I've gotten that out of the way, it makes it really easy, because what we're ending up here with is being able to send images and text and audio and video and all that sort of stuff to groups or individuals, you know, and it's really come a long way and evolved, because we have top-notch, cutting-edge technology, the AI, the machine learning, the intellectually growing or maturing technology that is running behind this, and it gets smarter every day. So it's a reliably evolved system, and it's all through AI and AI driven.
It's amazing. That's amazing, Jeff. So Jeff, are you saying that if there was a guy on YouTube that was an influencer that had millions of hits because he's worked at it, would it be worth it for him to move over to?
Oh man, not only would it be worth it, but now you got to get this is what you got to love about it. Say for instance, Milo has got 500,000 followers. He's over on YouTube, and every day he's putting out content, man. I mean, because if you stop, you die, right? I mean, that's all there is to it. You fade away into oblivion, and nobody knows who you are 2 weeks from now. If you went to Onet or Onetwork told everybody, hey, I'm over here. My stuff is up. I'm leaving this other place. And they all migrated over to you with you. As soon as they register as a free user on your site, on your domain, on your network, right? Your social media platform under onpassive, automatically you now have the information they use to register with. So these folks are connected at the hip forever with you and your platform. Now, that's a pretty cool thing, because when you think about that, then anytime, and you know they will because we are that big and bad, anytime they buy or use or go anywhere or do anything at all, when they spend a dime, you now will get a portion of that. When they get their own site, when they come in and they start marketing and they're making tons of money now, not based on what you're doing like they were, but now they're making money on their own sites, and you're still getting a piece of that. You're getting a nice little piece of the pie. So yes, it is not only lucrative for you and make perfect sense for you to come over, but it makes perfect sense for them to come over, because now not only are they not just following you, now they're earning an income by hardly doing anything, and you are earning a much greater income because now you have them and they're working and you're getting some of that too. So yes, you can quit doing your YouTubes after that and you can just sit back and relax.
Of course, my mind is just going with this, and I'm thinking of all these artists out there, all these people that might be good singers, that's got a few videos out there, but they don't know how to drive traffic to it. No one knows about them. They come to ONet, guess what? They start being marketed and people brought in saying, hey, if you like so-and-so's music, you might like this one. And they start bringing it in. Do you think any of them will get a fan and start building a fan base?
Are you kidding me? Man, not only the social marketing now, or the network marketing aspect of what we're doing with social media, but think about OConnect and Ocademy. What happens when you have starving artists, as you're talking about here, right? And they record their first song and they put it on Ocademy, or better yet, just put it on OConnect or on wherever they want, whatever they post to. Obviously, with us, it's going to be on ONet, and it'll probably be other places because they can stream it. But they offer it, for 99 cents on Ocademy or something as an entertainment. And the notoriety, the notability that they're going to get, the traffic, when it's on this, or maybe they're on their own website and that's what they're doing. They're posting their things on their website. Well, guess who's doing all the marketing for every bit of that? onpassive is. And if it's specifically a product on a website, guess who they're targeting? People that want to listen to that music, that type of music, that genre of music. They're going to have global reach. They're not going to be starving for very long, let me tell you.
So, Jeffrey, do you think if they maybe built their fan base, these people come in, they built their fan base, now, maybe they like the guitar player, and the guitar player might want to set up on an Ocademy or something, and he might want to give guitar lessons. No, he could give guitar lessons. They could pay him for those, or he could give them for free, because remember, it's going to drive in. It doesn't matter how you make the apples, as long as you make the apples.
Yep. And the beauty of that is, you're right. You can have a fan base that you can bring in to do that. But if you don't, when you start, you will have a fan base created, because onpassive is doing the marketing for your particular product, branding you, giving you visibility. It's not onpassive. It's not ONet, right? It's not Ocademy. It's not OCommerce. It is you. It is Milo.com. Check my stuff out. You gotta love it. I love it.
Absolutely, Jeffrey. And I like to bring this point up a lot. And you know what I'm talking about is only 59% of the world gets the internet right now. Do you know there's 40% out there that's never heard maybe music, never heard this? Do you think that it's possible that some of them might like your kind of music, especially when we talk about not only does it, the song or you're singing, but it's multi-language. You know, it can be done in multi-language. What do you think of that? I mean, we're
I think
talking
you're,
40%.
yeah, I think you're absolutely right that this whole paradigm shift that is on passive is going to explode out into the world, and people are going to be subject to and able to listen to and to see and to feel, have emotional responses and interactions to a lot of things they have never had the ability or the wherewithal to get within their reach or grasp or five senses. And I'm talking, through exactly what you're talking about, through new music and through news feeds and timelines, and by sharing, really high quality content, and you can gauge reactions. I mean, you're going to know if they like it or not, because you're going to be able to gauge your reactions. You got intuitive and analytics going on, right? And chat messaging, inbox, and all these groups. You're going to know how they feel and adjust properly. So the answer is yes, 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 yes on everything you just said.
Yeah, and the other thing, Jeffrey, I don't think it's a one-way street. In other words, I don't think that us Americans have necessarily the best music. What about up in Canada? What about over in London? What about, the different places, Germany in the world, different places in the world, that music's going to flow over here too, and it's going to go back and forth. And I honestly believe that this is, like you said, a paradigm shift that, is going to be incredible. It's going to change the world. And when you think about the fan base, what about using O Connect to do a concert around the world? I mean,
well, you could certainly do that. You could certainly do that. I mean, and it's unlimited. I mean, if you want 1.5 million people, you can get them to attend it and put their lighters up in the air or whatever. But think about this one further when you're talking about these people getting together and exchanging these ideas. How many new genres of music are going to pop up when you start mixing Chinese and Aboriginal from across? I mean, you know what I mean? It's just
absolutely
the culture clash that you're going to get. And the result of that is going to be like brainiacs sitting in the innovation labs coming up with all sorts of weird stuff like they do. Same thing with your music. You're going to start mixing different types, and I don't know the music lingo you do, but you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. It's going to come up with some really neat stuff.
Absolutely. And I think this is such a big thing for musicians and stuff to jump on right away. Of course, I'm big into that. I live here in Nashville, but I can see it working so much for them. And even, I always envisioned, this has been going on way before onpassive, but I always wanted to do a show where I did the story behind the song, because I think a lot of times a song is written and no one knows the story. And it would just be cool to sit down with an artist or a songwriter and say, hey, and I know they got them around Nashville here, they call them songwriters, but you sit down, you tell that story, but now it's not here and just in Nashville, it is all over the world. And will that change how people are perceived, with songs and stuff?
You know what? It's going to. As a matter of fact, it's going to change things. A lot of times, what we see with big paradigm shifts like this is we get expected changes, and we get some changes that aren't expected at all. And these are some of the things that we're going to be bringing to the forefront. Now, a lot of what you're talking about here also sounds to me like, remember back in the day when, what was it called? It's so-and-so unplugged. And that means get rid of the gear, sit down one-on-one, 1-on-3, and have a candid conversation about why was this song built or wrote or written or sung, what went into it, what was the philosophy. And this is what you're talking about. And this is the online collaboration stuff that's going to go on crazy. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, it will build your fan base because people's going to know you more. It's not like you're going to have to go to here to tell it and tell 10 people here and 20 people here. All of a sudden, you'll be able to tell millions of people. But guess what, Jeffrey? We could talk all day on this one, I think, but we are out of time
already.
Actually, we went overtime on this one, but this was a good one. Too good to not talk about, Jeffrey. But if people want to know more about it, check the link down in the bottom there. You'll see Mr. Jeffrey Morlock's link. He talks at it. in detail. And I'm telling you, this guy is knowledgeable. He's great to know. And thank you, Mr. Jeffrey Morlock, for coming on the show today. And we'll see you next time. And I think we are going to be talking about Opier. We're going to talk about Opier next time we get together. All right, Jeffrey? Thank you for coming. Good night from Nashville.
Thank you, and good night from North Carolina.